So that's what, 1982? That was
the first. Was that the first?
It was the first hit without
Fun
Fun Boys,
hit.
because the first two we had were with the Fun Boy 3.
Right. You see, that's just quintessential you, isn't it, that sound? You had it from the off. You kind of hit the ground running.
Well, we wanted to sing together because none of us were really brave enough to put ourselves out as a solo singer, I think. We kind of had the safety in numbers aspect, and it just stuck.
Yeah. You must be, I'm crossing both fingers now, you must be that tight, you two, because you met at primary school.
Yeah.
You're both born in 61.
Yeah.
So you were at school, what, from the mid-60s, late 60s on?
Yeah.
And
we knew
all
each
the way
other
through?
from day one, really. And then we became friends, really inseparable friends from about 11, weren't we?
When Karen showed me her brownie uniform, her brand new brownie
that was when
uniform.
I was 7, she came to my party. I hated my brownie uniform. It was homemade. I was the only one with a homemade one.
No! Oh, that's tragic.
I know, isn't it?
Who made it for you?
My mum, obviously.
What, you were hard up, you couldn't afford a brownie uniform?
Yeah.
Either
Millets,
that or
I
she
think.
just chose to save a bit of cash by running one up on the sewing machine. I was mortified.
Do you remember this moment? When she...
I do. She took me upstairs and showed me the brownie uniform.
Everyone was very envious of my homemade dresses, I have to say.
Yeah,
at that
because they were
age.
always really, really short.
Yeah,
weren't they?
really
Mini
short.
ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
you're Britain's answer
Started at a very young age.
you're Britain's answer to Dolly Parton, aren't you? By coat of many colours.
In
and all
some
that stuff.
departments.
I once asked Dolly Parton in an interview. She's got tiny feet, really small feet. And in this interview, I said, "You got what size shoes are you, Dolly? You've got really small feet." And she said, "Nothing grows in the shade, honey." Which I'm sure was a practiced answer, but
Yeah.
Are they real or not?
oh yeah.
They're real. They're
Well, I
not
mean,
fake.
sorry, I'm talking as if I'd have sort of exclusive knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Trust me, girls, they're real. No, I don't think there's ever been any suggestion that Dolly isn't all she's meant to be.
God, that's
you know.
amazing,
It
isn't it?
is. I'm amazed she can actually stand up if her
Lucky
feet are small.
lady.
Well,
She doesn't topple over.
this is getting a bit like your mother. I think we have to pull it back.
Rein it in.
So you were good friends from the start and best friends from 11. Did you go to the same secondary school as
Yeah.
well?
Yes.
And did you share the same taste in music? Did you buy the same records?
Yes,
And-
we spent a lot of time singing into
Right.
a cassette recorder.
Yeah, making tapes making up dance routines. Who
Right.
would have known that would have come in so handy? But it's true, isn't it?
I know, and comedy shows. We did a lot of comedy
Yeah.
shows where we'd interview each other.
What, in the bedroom?
In different
Yeah.
accents.
Oh, yeah.
different accents.
Lots of,
Yeah. Let's not do them
No,
now,
I'm
Karen.
not doing any of them.
You finish each other's sentences, don't you? Extraordinary.
Well, when I'm in London, because I live in Cornwall now, so when I'm in London, which is quite a lot at the moment, I live with Sarah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So,
Okay.
Yes.
Have you ever gone through a patch where you've got on each other's nerves?
All
No.
the time.
No.
Of course not.
A serpent in paradise.
No, we pretty much, it's just very natural. It's been going on for so long. It's just very, very natural.
So when was the moment then? You're doing all this playing around basically on the cassette tapes and decks in the bedroom. When did you decide, hold on, we might do something professionally with this? We're good.
Oh, we didn't from the tapes. If you'd heard them, you would have, that wasn't an indication.
Our version
Would it?
of Barbara Streisand's Evergreen went
Yeah.
down a storm with Mama's friends.
Tell me you still got those tapes.
No,
I
she-
wish.
She
My
had
brother
them,
went
lost them.
over
See, I
them.
keep everything, but
Yeah.
not
Okay, but
Karen.
anyway, the question stands, Your Honour. When was the light bulb moment that you thought we can do this?
Well, I think it's because obviously when we moved to London, I mean, I started training as a journalist at the London College of Fashion, and
And you were at the BBC, weren't you?
yeah.
Doing what?
Pensions. I had a
Sleeping,
grade A
sleeping.
maths, so they put me in the pensions department. I had no intention of staying there, and then we started the group, so I just left.
Okay.
And I think we used to go to clubs and meet various people. We met Paul Cook from the Sex Pistols, or ex-Sex Pistols, and it was just
And we used to do
circumstances.
backing
It was
vocals.
backing vocals
Yeah.
for friends that we knew who were in bands, and Paul said, "Why don't you have your own group?" Which we'd never really thought about. And so the three of us, we recorded I Am Wanar and I think Venus or something, and then just used to take the tapes around to clubs like the Embassy and
Wank
the Rock
Club.
Garden, and get up and sing a live vocal to a tape, and it just seemed to take off.
How long then from doing that and doing backing tracks, backing singing, to Cruel Summer? What was the time lag?
Well, I think...
From leaving college and...
Well,
getting
Ain't What
on.
You Do was before Shyborn. Shyborn was 82.
Right.
And Ain't What You Do was just
Yeah, I'm
earlier,
really saying
that
something.
year.
It
And,
was
I mean,
basically-
we did, what, 6 months?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I mean, really
That's
quick.
fast track, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think it took a while before it sank in that we could actually make a career out of it, as opposed to just thinking how much
This
fun
is
it was.
fun,
It was
yeah.
so much. It was so exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd only been abroad once with the school on a coach trip. I'd never even flown, and suddenly we're staying in sort of 5-star
Wow.
hotels with everything paid for, and got completely carried away with it all.
Good.
So it wasn't really like a job at all.
I mean, and especially Cruel Summer, we said, well, we want someone to take us to New York to do the video, so we don't care what the video looks like, so long as, the budget will cover flights to New York. I mean, going to New York at that young age was just unbelievable.
I imagine
for
we were
us.
in economy as well.
Yeah.
And that won't be happening again.
A long time since you had to turn right. A long time. Well, look, you mentioned Venus. We're going to play that now. And then what I try to do when I talk to guys like you is not ask the obvious questions, but sometimes they beg to be asked. And because we've interviewed you a couple of times before, I've never actually asked you the Robert De Niro question. So I apologise if you're going to go over old ground there, but I do want to hear that story. But we'll do Venus now. Girls, you're going to love this one. This is a text that's coming from David in Worthing. He says, hi girls, hi Richard, couldn't resist sending you this one. My dear wife Wendy, child of the 80s, gained an A in an English poetry lesson at school for copying the lyrics of Cruel Summer as the text.
Nice.
That is a genius
Pretended it was
idea,
her.
isn't it?
That's fantastic.
Teachers
That
back then
really
had
is.
no idea about modern music, and she got a straight A.
That's amazing, isn't
Brilliant.
it?
Good girl.
Brilliant.
Good
What are the
girl.
lyrics? What's the opening verse of Cruel Summer?
Hot
summer
summer streets
streets.
and the pavements are burning. I sit around trying to smile, but the air is so heavy and dry.
I think that was worth an A+.
Yeah.
Never mind an A.
They didn't do A stars in those days, did they?
No, they didn't. I don't know. No memory of it.
You didn't get any?
No. I bet I didn't know. I barely got my O-levels.
Really?
Did you hate school? I bet you hated school.
No, I didn't.
Didn't you?
No. We were both quite clever, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, that's me putting
We
no
were
place.
kind of top of the
Fine.
class, but really misbehaved, so the
Yeah.
teachers really didn't like us.
What about this? Just going back to the intro of the show. What about this YWCA eviction order? What's going on there?
Oh, I think we were
We
just...
weren't allowed boys up into the
The Young Women's Christian Association.
Yes.
It's on the tin.
Yes.
opposite
It was-
the British
It was a
Museum.
brilliant place to live
Great
as a
location.
teenager.
Yeah, yeah.
We could just walk into the West End. It was cheap, and we had to share rooms, shared bathrooms. There were no
Students.
cooking facilities. It
No.
was really not very luxurious, but it was great fun.
You should do a version of Village People. YWCA. That'd be great.
But it used to be really exciting because they'd announce your visitors over a tannoy system, and they say, Paul Cook for Sarah Dallin and Karen Woodward, and we think, oh my God, the Sex Pistols have come to see us at the YWCA. It would be very exciting.
Now, look, I want the De Niro story. First of all, tell me about the inspiration for the song Robert De Niro's Waiting. What's going on there?
It was supposed to be like Pull Up to the Bumper, Grace Jones.
And that's the honest truth. Really? We sat down.
It was in the days of drum machines, so we got the sort of beat
Yeah.
of Pull Up to the Bumper.
God knows
and
how
I
it
don't know how it
ended
ended
up
up
the way
that
it
way.
Okay.
No idea.
But the story to it.
We
watched a
discussed
lot of
that
his
recently.
films.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Big
were
fans.
quite big fans of. It was one of those sort of late night put the video in of
Right.
Taxi Driver and Mean Streets and
Right.
Godfather, and
He was beautiful then, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he
we
was.
forget that now because we see him in,
I
Meet
think
the
still
he's
think he's
aged
attractive.
really well. I think he's a very attractive man.
I was just saying,
Yes.
it's just that he's the guy in Meet the Parents now,
Yes.
Still very attractive.
Okay, but
Yes.
back then he was lean and...
showing his saucy, cheeky side.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
like that.
Do you like him in Analyse This and Analyse That?
Yes.
Yes,
That's very funny.
I think he's really good at comedy.
Yeah, he's brilliant at comedy.
Yeah.
He's so dead.
Yeah.
Anyway, so fine. So that was a massive hit. And just tell me the story about actually meeting him, because that's something I've never actually asked you about, and I'm not really aware of. What happened
He
there?
was in London filming Brazil, and I guess the PRs must have got together or phoned each other to say we had the song coming out, because we didn't know.
Yeah, it wasn't
we didn't know he
released.
was here. And the next minute, we're in our council flat on the 15th floor, and we get a phone call. My boyfriend answers the phone
We
and
had
says,
a payphone.
I think we were watching Brookside at the time. And he said, it's Robert De Niro on the phone, and we just laughed.
sure.
Yeah.
And we pushed Siobhan to the phone.
Because she was the oldest.
Yeah, she was the oldest.
And
A bit more articulate.
She's a bit more mature than us. Probably still
And
is.
we could just hear her giggling. He wants to meet us. So we just met up at where was it?
Kettner's.
Kettner's. in Soho for a drink, and then we went on to some other bar, and then
And what was he
some more
like? Was
drinks.
he a bit monosyllabic, or privately does he open up a bit?
I can't remember, to be honest. I'd
That was
had a
back
few
in the day.
drinks just to get over the nerves of meeting him.
Right.
It's
And
all
we
a
had
bit of a
and all
blur.
our boyfriends and friends at the time. They all wanted to meet him, so they all came and sat at various tables around the.
Because we told them they couldn't because it would be
meet him.
embarrassing.
Right.
They all came up.
Yes, it was a fun evening.
Did you go through a fairly sort of wild patch? I remember years ago.
Patch?
Patch, yeah, period.
A really long patch.
Very, very 30-year patch.
30-year patch.
I started this reference earlier, and then I kind of got sidetracked. But I remember we met you at this, I think at the TV Awards or something a few years ago, and we were leaving, going home for an early bed, and you were there, and we had a chat, and I said, "What are you doing?" And you said, "Oh, we're going on to a party." And Judy said, "Oh, can we come?" And there was this sort of silence, and you said, I think it was you said, "It's not the kind of party you'd enjoy."
I did not. I would not have presumed
Or
that
worse-
Judy wouldn't enjoy the same party as me.
no,
I'm
both of
sure
us.
I didn't
Both-
say that.
Words to that effect. Then it was. Oh, listen, it was very funny. No offence was taken. We thought it was
No offence
a,
meant.
a rock and roll moment. Okay, I want to finish where we started. You're going for your costume fittings later
Yes.
for the concert at Hyde Park.
It's
There-
a bit last minute because our dressmaker got deported.
Yeah,
You see, you're still rock and roll. aren't you? Where back to?
South Africa.
Yeah.
Okay, what you overstayed
So
his
we've
visa,
had to
did you?
rustle up a new one.
Yeah.
All right.
She's
Yeah.
doing very well.
And what kind of costumes are you going to be wearing? Are you going retro or
Yeah, I'm quite retro actually.
Yeah.
Well, not 80s.
No, not
No.
80s.
No.
what 90s? Early
I'm
noughties?
wearing a onesie.
1940s.
A onesie. Okay. And how many... no, not 40s. How many changes will you make them?
None.
Oh, just go out.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't do
Power through.
changes anymore. We can't.
It's
can't
not-
be
yeah.
bothered, can
bothered
you?
with that. No.
So how many numbers will you be doing at Hyde Park?
We're doing 6.
Yeah.
Six.
Our
Well,
section,
it's
each
the
artist is
Stockake
doing 6
and Waterman
songs. Yeah.
stuff.
Great.
So we're all doing 6 songs
Yeah.
each.
Fantastic. Well, listen, have a great concert.
Thank you.
Enjoy the tour in New York. The album's just a joy to listen to, I have to say.
Thank you.
Have you watched the DVDs?
No,
That's
I
the bit
haven't.
I'm
No,
dreading.
Classics in there.
Well, it's all out there. It's done.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it
Definitive
now.
version.
Okay. Have a great day.
Thank
have
you
a great
very
concert.
much.
Have a great
Thanks.
tour. Lovely to talk to you.
And you.
And you.
That's
Thanks.
Bananarama, and this is Perry Como.